was just talking to somebody today about the spiritual community and healing. And so many people focus on healing in the spiritual community. And I think that's generally because that is the first step to bettering your life, is healing. But it's missing the boat in the grand scheme of things. Because sure, healing is great, but if you don't have the proactive tools after the fact to prevent yourself from further suffering, you're just stuck on this hamster wheel of hurting and healing, hurting and healing, hurting and healing. And what fun is that? No one wants to heal. They're just going to get hurt again, which is why there are so many people who just don't want to get into it, and I don't blame them. But at the end of the day, like I talk about, we are what we consume. So if all we're consuming is healing, all we're focusing on is hurting. When we start to focus on the proactive solutions to our lives, we start to not only end the cycles of suffering in our lives, but we also start to take that inevitable pain and even circumvent that so that we have less moments of pain in our lives, because we stop those moments short in their tracks before they can even happen, say thank you but no thank you, and completely avoid them. Now, that's not to say that you're going to be able to avoid pain completely in your life, but it sure does make life a hell of a lot easier and a hell of a lot more happy. In the grand scheme of things, there's a lot more happiness in the grand scheme of things when we know that we have the tools, skills, and habits. We don't even have to know. They're so ingrained in us that they are unconscious habits, eventually, that keep those moments of suffering from even happening in our lives, because we are stopping short the moments that are going to cause us pain to begin with. First of all, welcome to another video. I'm Ann Blackwood, your Silicon Valley Sage Sister, here to bring consciousness to the forefront of your daily life to make life a little kinder and simpler. Now, lots of people know about being proactive with their physical health. When people think proactive health, that's one of the first things they think of, if they think of anything at all. We all have an idea when it comes to, well, yeah, we can get sick and then we can heal, or we can just do these things ahead of time and then we don't have to get as sick as often. People have this idea when it comes to their physical health, but people don't think about that when it comes to their mental health. People don't think about that when it comes to their spiritual health. And we have all three as spirits having a temporary human experience. Even if you're not super religious, even if you're not super spiritual, we all have that spirit aspect to us because we are all energy and we all have a purpose. So, I'm here to remind you guys today that being proactive with your physical health is absolutely important. There are toxins in our lives that we can alleviate. That's why I love dōTERRA so much, but I'm also here to remind you today that we can be proactive with our mental health. We can do things in our lives, and we know this on some subconscious level. We can do things in our lives to make our lives better in a mental capacity, in an emotional way. We can do things in our lives proactively, spiritually, that help our mind, body, and spirit. And so, on the physical level, again, removing toxins from our lives is a big help. Again, that's why I love dōTERRA so much. When we get into all of those natural living, green living areas, and I'm not talking vegan or vegetarianism even. I think meat, for a lot of people, is an important part of one's diet. But you can ethically source your meat so that it is better for you. You can source all of your products in a clean, green way, whether that be your laundry detergent or your dishwasher detergent. People don't think about how our skin is the largest organ on our body. So even the products we use on our skin, if they have things like phthalates, like parabens, like fragrances even, that are unnatural, those are toxins. Those are even sometimes, what's the word I'm looking for? Carcinogens, things that cause cancer. known to cause cancer. So the first and easiest way to get proactive is through the clean green living, where we start to assess, what am I using around the house? Am I using toxic chemicals to clean? We don't have to do that. And I know, I've experienced it myself. There are absolutely those green products that don't work But again, that's why I love dōTERRA so much, is because they have products that have the best natural ingredients at their base that actually work. So we can get rid of those toxic chemicals in our life. We can get rid of the carcinogens and the toxins in everything we use, from, like I said, our bathing products to our laundry detergent, to our dishwasher detergent, to the soaps we use on our hands, to the soaps we use on everything else. That's all touching our skin. It's going in our mouth. Even our clothes touch our skin, sit there all day. So if you were bathing those in chemicals to clean them, that's going to sit on your skin and get in your skin, get in your body. And if you feel like crap and you wonder why, it's probably because somewhere in your life, crap is getting in you. So, feeling physically better and getting proactive with how you feel physically better. Super important. The second thing, which these are in no particular order of importance, just the second thing as far as what I'm talking about, getting proactive with our mental health. Now, this is where the healing comes in. Because yes, we absolutely have to heal first, alongside getting proactive with our mental health tools. We can do them side by side. And it's funny because I've had a lot of people recently ask me, what do you do? Why did you choose to do what you do? Well, it's my calling in life. And that's been obvious for a very, very long time. Like, I can't imagine doing anything else. And I have been on this lifelong journey. It's not like I got online 2.5 years ago and I decided to create a business. I've been working in my private practice since 2015. And I've been on the journey of getting my degree in psychology, which I thought was going to lead to a license in psychology. I ended up getting my life coaching certification from another college because I realized that opened more doors to me and allowed me to create my private practice sooner. And what I do with people is not only help them to heal, but get proactive with their physical health and their mental health. And we do this through tools like tapping, meditation, as well as other thought exercises that allow us to do things like have pattern interrupters in our lives, where rather than repeating whatever it is that causes that suffering in your life, you stop yourself before you can repeat it. Or maybe, let's say you started doing it a little bit. Like, let's say, I'll use an example that I have, that I've helped someone with before. I knew someone who would overreact in situations, and he would start to overreact, and slowly but surely he would catch himself recognizing that he was overreacting, and he would catch himself sooner and sooner and sooner, to the point where eventually he no longer overreacted to things. He would no longer yell at the people that he loved for no reason. But it starts with creating that pattern interrupter. It starts with having that conscious decision that this is something I don't want to do anymore. It starts with recognizing that you have a problem. The first step to solving any problem is recognizing that you have one to begin with. And then from there, it really takes consciously being able to recognize in the moment that it's happening, stopping yourself. Even if you've started a little bit, doesn't mean you have to continue. Stopping yourself, inserting that pattern interrupter. It could be something as simple as taking a deep breath, collecting yourself, and starting over. And then eventually you will have inserted that pattern interrupter of catching yourself, taking a deep breath, collecting yourself, and starting over enough times. Could be tapping as well. There are all sorts of amazing things that you can use as pattern interrupters. But you eventually catch yourself enough times that eventually you're rewiring your brain to eventually no longer do it again. Because you'll notice even the thought eventually that provokes you to do it. And you'll stop yourself there. So you can never act on that thought because you've caught the thought. And then you stop thinking the thought altogether. When you start developing these tools, you start bettering your life because you're no longer doing the things that caused you suffering in your life. Another example of this is upholding one's boundaries, asserting one's boundaries. Say you find yourself in a position where you used to let people take you for granted, walk all over you, treat you like a doormat. And you start to recognize those moments, just like I talked about in this other example previously. You start to recognize those thoughts that you have that lead to the suffering in your life. And you stop yourself there and you choose something new. You choose a new action, you choose a new thought. So with upholding your boundary, when you start hearing yourself go, oh, well, I could let them do that, you stop yourself and you say, no, I'm not going to let them do that. I'm not going to let myself do that. I'm going to, in this moment, rather than let someone continue on with what they're doing, I'm going to tell them, hey, look, for whatever reason, I can't be okay with this. That's an example of a pattern interrupter, again, because you are where you once did something else, now doing something new, like upholding your own boundary by speaking your boundary. Or let's say you don't want to be like the kind of person who's like, well, I have this boundary and so I can't this or that. Just say, no, I'm sorry, thank you, but no thank you. Or I can't do that right now. Or please don't do that right now. It doesn't have to be this big dramatic moment. Your life can proactively change just by taking these little moments at a time and inserting something different in that moment that allows you to move forward to better, as I say, rather than continuing on as normal. So, alongside that goes the spiritual health. And this can be a lot of things depending on what religious denomination you practice, if you practice spirituality in general, but just taking moments out of your day, out of your life, to develop your sense of spirituality or religious affiliation is going to improve your life in so many ways, because it's going to allow you to develop a lot of these other things because of that habitual pattern of just doing something. When we create habits in our lives, it becomes easier to make other things habits in our lives. As well as there are many religions and spiritualities, spiritual traditions, religious traditions, shamanic traditions that have these practices within them that allow us to move forward to better. And as I said to somebody today, hey, look, we can all do these things on our own, but it's going to take longer. And the example I like to give of this is my stitches example. You know, you don't have to go to the doctor. Let's say you get a big fat wound. You don't have to go to the doctor. You don't have to get those stitches, but you're sure going to heal faster and better if you do. You're going to have less of a scar. When we start to do things like take on courses, coaches, mentors, or other tools, when it comes to being proactive in our lives, the faster and easier it gets. So yeah, of course, nobody needs me to help them. I remind myself and others of this every day. Healers don't heal, they facilitate self-healing. But that said, we all know, having our physical health as an example, when we use medicine, for instance, stitches, for instance, as a proactive health tool of support to heal, we sure heal faster, don't we? Same goes for our mental and spiritual health as well. When the mind, body, and spirit are healthy, happiness comes naturally also. So the more you can build those tools, skills, and habits to not just heal, but then get proactive with your health. Because again, if you're just healing, you're going to get stuck on that cycle of hurting and healing, hurting and healing, if you don't stop the hurting. It's great to heal, but you got to stop the things in your life that make you hurt too. And like I said, you're not going to be able to stop all of them because pain is inevitable, but you can stop a lot of them. And you can certainly stop the suffering in your life that goes along with those painful moments. And you can even stop a lot of those painful moments from happening. And you can do that even better when you have someone else on your side helping you stay accountable and teaching you the tools that you don't already have faster than especially you would if you were to just wait to stumble upon them on your own. For instance, I've spent a lifetime collecting all of the tools that I have. Literally a lifetime. You don't want to spend a lifetime doing that, especially not when I or somebody else can offer them to you on a silver platter a lot faster. So I just want to encourage everybody today. Healing is great. Healing is important. But if you're not getting proactive with your health in the process of healing, you're just going to be stuck on that hamster wheel of hurting and healing. You're not going to make your life better overall without other tools to follow up the healing. Thank you guys for joining me for another video. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description. That includes working with me one-on-one. If you're ready to end the cycles of suffering in your life, if you're ready to heal as well as get proactive with your mind, body, and spirit health, because they're all important. And if you're letting one fall by the wayside and wondering again why things feel crappy, it's because you've got to have the mind, body, and spirit proactively taken care of for happiness to come naturally. So if you're ready, I would love to have you. And I have 5 spots available right now open. So that means you can just sign up if you know you're ready. Otherwise, if you do have any questions or you need more information, I have the sign up page, which has more information on the session packages that I have available, which I have 4 of them available, depending on your depending on how deeply or quickly you would like to get into your healing and proactive journey. So you can check those out, or you can email me. I also have my free clarity call, which is still available for a short period of time longer, although I know I will be retiring that soon for anything but dōTERRA wellness calls. So if you'd like to get in a free clarity call with me, definitely make sure you sign up now. Or like I said, you can just sign up for one of my session packages because I do have 5 spots available right now. There's also the link to dōTERRA in my description down there. There is also the link to my Patreon in the description down there. If you want to get in on all of the teachings that I have to offer that I've already got recorded, Patreon is the place to do it. I have teachings that I have collected from my entire life. That includes teachings from Tony Robbins, Teal Swan, Gabby Bernstein, Wayne Dyer, Jordan Peterson, and then some. Course in Miracles. We are doing the A Course in Miracles student workbook right now in Spirituality 2.0. I have 3 membership tiers available on Patreon as well. And the first one gives you everything: my journal exercises, guided meditations, workshop replays, my intuitive lifestyle course, which is the basics of what I do with my clients one-on-one. All of that is available for just $23 a month. And then I have 2 other tiers that give you other little things as well. So don't forget to check that out. dōTERRA is also a link in the description, which is your one-stop shop for getting rid of all of those toxins, synthetic chemicals in your home and replacing them with the best plant-based products, natural living products, which include the essential oils that they use as the basis of their natural living products, as well as the products themselves. So you can either check that out using the link below, or you can sign up for my dōTERRA wellness call, which allows us to walk through what you need in your life personally. So make sure if you sign up for the free clarity call and you want to do the dōTERRA wellness call version of that, to check the dōTERRA box. Bunch of other links in the description. I will be doing my Ritualize Your Life workshop here in just a few days now. So if you'd like to get in on that, got to be signed up for my email list. Make sure you do that, as well as, we never know when the social media overlords will come back and start canceling people again. It's always good to be able to stay connected. And as always, may the energies you serve you well, and let's keep making our way through.